What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, of course, in today's video, we are going over Solana, and we're going to be taking a look at what the price is doing, how we can expect it to move in the future, and exactly how I'm going to be playing this thing. Now, looking at Solana, what we can see is that since our last video, which was going to be right back here on February 10th, we have seen a bit of a pretty strong retracement, right? Now, in that video, I told you guys, although people are excited, I'm personally not buying until we are at least capable of clearing this more macro downward sloping trend line. And now, of course, considering the fact that we didn't do much buying, it has saved us, one point losses of well above 20%, even up to about 10% in losses at this point. And so, of course, with that being said, our strategy does remain the same in that sense, is that I am personally still not going to be buying until we are capable of getting back above this downward sloping trend line. But with that being said, I am starting to see a lot more bullish indicators and a lot more things pointing to the idea that they could be happening soon. So I'm going to show you those bullish indicators and what exactly this thing could look like and exactly how I'm going about it. So of course, again, as we did see a bit of a retracement. Now, what was beautiful about that retracement is that we saw it pull back right into this key macro Fibonacci 618 to 786 zone between $94 and $88. Now, of course, this is going to be a Fibonacci based off of our January 24th swing low up to our February 7th swing high. What that means is that as we do make a move of this nature, if the price does start to roll, we can expect it to come back and find some support around these areas if it's going to bounce. If it does continue down through this area, it is very likely that it will retrace back to this previous low. And so for that reason, it is always extremely important that we see some support held here. Well, considering the fact that support was held here, that is a great sign just in, structural technical analysis to say that we do have a good fair shake at getting back above this macro trend line with such a strong support and foundational establishment there. Now, even if we do look at something like the MACD on the daily charts, we saw a bit of the avoidance of a bearish convergence. So as we can see, our blue line was working right down towards our orange line. And of course, if we do see this blue line close through the orange line, that is going to be bearish. That's bearish convergence, basically just saying that we have likely entered into some type of bearish trend or bearish, momentum in the market. Well, as we did get very close to that convergence, we did see the divergence happen, in which we started to see a bit of a bounce, which is a sign that there is a strong support establishment here. And historically speaking, when we've seen this happen, let's go ahead and see if we can find a good example. It has been pretty good, right? We saw this convergence, immediate avoidance of divergence led to some growth. Again, we saw it leading to growth. So usually speaking, this does lead to growth. And so that's another very good sign that we can be seeing some, something more of a strong move to the upside. Now, another thing that does look very good for us is that if we go back out to the weekly charts here and we get rid of our MACD for now, we can also see that we do have a case of bullish divergence forming on the weekly charts that is almost confirmed. So what we can see is that we were putting in some of these structural lows back here, and we are still sitting well above that area, in which we are looking to seemingly put in a bit of a bottom. Well, in that same event, we are seeing these structural lows, which is followed by lower lows, which is a very strong case of bullish divergence, which does have major bullish implications that we may either consolidate and stop this full-blown downtrend, or we may actually start to see that reversal back to the upside. Now, even if we do look at our MACD on the weekly charts, you can also see that we are looking to start to see a move back towards bullish territory as we are printing some of these light pink candles, which is a sign that this slope is starting to diminish and we may start to see convergence back to the top side, which may look like a bullish cross happening within the next couple weeks here on Solana if this momentum does continue. And so for all of those reasons, things are pointing and saying that we very possibly could see some type of macro growth very, very soon here. But in terms of if I'm going to be buying at this exact moment, I am still going to be waiting to see if we are capable of breaking this downward sloping trend line. You guys can see that we're getting up to this trend line and we're being unable to break it and hold it. We may break it, but we're failing to hold it. And so until we're able to at least break this downward sloping level of resistance and hold outside above it, I don't see a purpose in buying when we are in a confirmed downtrend. And so for that reason, though things are looking extremely bullish, and this could be considered something of a cup and candle pattern here, I'm going to personally be waiting until we get back above this trend line. So the way in which I'm going to be playing this is I'm going to be monitoring, are we capable of getting back above this level here? If we're capable of getting back above this level, I will do a bit of a minor accumulation. The next major accumulation that I will do will come once we are capable of setting a more macro high, which looks like the price getting back above $120. If we're capable of getting back above $120, it is very likely that we have now set a higher low, we have set a higher high, we have confirmed that weekly macro bullish divergence divergence in which we just covered. And it is my belief at that point that we will see some type of larger growth to the upside, which could look like a technical target here. You know, if we do look at this in the form of a cup and handle, which could look like some type of growth all the way back up towards $185, in which I, of course, want to take advantage of if we are going to see that macro bullish reversal. And so, of course, to get to that point, there are a few barriers in which we need to clear. One thing you can see is that at $103, we do have a very strong level of liquidity, and we do have a very strong level of volume, right? We have run into this level multiple times as resistance. We've established it as support. We've established it as support. You know, we failed it. We've established it as resistance now. So personally speaking, if if we do start to see this thing work above $103.30, I am expecting that's when that larger push to the upside will come. But there is a very, there's a possibility that we may roll off of 103 here. And then from there, of course, just do pay attention to our interactions again between $88 and $94. So overall, the biggest thing that I am saying right now is that momentum does seem to be swinging in favor of the bulls as long as we are above $88. But I am personally not going to be doing major buying until we at least first get above this macro trend line and hold it, and then secondly get back above $120. And when the time does come that I am going to do that mass accumulation, of course I am going to be doing it all over on iTrust Capital. You guys know I've been doing just about all my buying over there. I just came to the realization a few weeks ago that whenever I make $1 in crypto gains, I can be paying up to 40 cents on every single dollar in crypto taxes. And I just don't like that. I don't think it's fair to pay that much in taxes, personally speaking. That's my own personal beliefs, and I'm sure many of you do agree. And so, of course, if you do want to, kind of save yourself up to 40% on every single dollar that you do make, I would highly, highly, highly recommend and suggest just going ahead, opening a free account with iTrust Capital, verifying your email once you do enter in all of this information here, and just simply checking out your options to see how you can save yourself a substantial amount of money. Many of us are under the belief that crypto will see substantial gains. We will see Bitcoin hitting that $100,000 mark one day. And at this point, many of us could be seeing tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars in gains. And there's no point in paying tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes if we don't absolutely have to. So I do highly recommend that you at least just, again, sign up, create a free account with the link in the description down below, verify the email that they send you, and at least see your options, because I guarantee many of you will find them to be very, very beneficial. So with that being said, that is going to be about it for today's video. And of course, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, you can always let me know simply by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. And I'll see you all next time. Peace.